Hey everyone, NetterKinz here with my Webkinz Golden Retriever Castiel, and we're here to rank all 13 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Which means, of course, if they're from 20th Century Fox, like X-Men, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, or any older Marvel movies, or like the Spider-Man movies from Sony, any of those will not be counted. Only the 13 that Disney Marvels has made. Also, these are my opinions, so that means you do not have to agree with me, or you can. So no hate comments until you watch this entire thing. So let's get started. Iron Man 2. Okay, so this movie completely sucked. The storyline was boring, and they just kind of really butchered Whiplash. I think his name was Whiplash. It just wasn't a great villain, and then Iron Man wasn't his best in this. And yeah, seeing Black Widow for the first time was cool, but even then, she was the only highlight of that entire movie. So that's why it's number 13. It's just the worst ever. Iron Man 3. Okay, here we're finally back to a kind of good Iron Man movie, but not the best. Still sucked just like number 2. The Incredible Hulk. Alright, so this one was supposedly supposed to be canon, and it's still counted as canon, but I kind of don't think it is. But I'm just putting it on the list anyways because it is counted. Again, I'm kind of confused with this, but it's okay. It just wasn't the best. I don't think you can ever make a good Hulk movie because even the Hulk movie that isn't canon isn't good at all. It's just kind of hard to have a Hulk movie, so I'm just gonna say that. Age of Ultron. Alright. So, wow. I'm gonna receive a lot of hate for this one. But I really hated Age of Ultron. The story was everywhere and I couldn't find out what was going on, and even when I did catch up, just the acting and the characters forcing each other to do certain things. No spoilers, of course, but the movie was bad. Poorly written. I just didn't like it. Thor: The Dark World. Okay, so this one's actually better. It wasn't the best, but I think it was a really good story. But the way they left it as a cliffhanger, that was unnecessary. They could have just wrapped it up with, the first beginning part that you see as a well, actually they made it end credit. I'm sorry, the end credit scene. They could have just ended that way instead of with the cliffhanger. But yeah, we've been waiting a long time for Thor 3, so we deserve to know what happened. So that's why it's at the bottom of the list. Ant-Man. Okay, so Ant-Man was funny, but the action wasn't the best. I mean, good introduction to show us who Ant-Man is, but it just wasn't the best. I think they could have done better. Thor. Okay, this one is really good. I liked Thor a lot. Not as great as I was hoping, but when I first saw it in the movie theater, it was pretty cool to know who he was. And Jane Foster, of course, was my favorite. I'm just kind of sad that she's not going to come back for Thor 3. So, yeah. Iron Man. Alright, so this has to be the best way to introduce the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man. This was actually my favorite, and I don't know how many times I've seen it already, but it's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and it's just really amazing and the best, and I love the way that Robert Downey Jr. Portrays the Tony Stark. It's just the best. Captain America. Same goes for Cap. This is the best introduction for Captain America ever, and I know people really didn't like this movie, but I don't care. This was one of my favorites and the best way to introduce Captain America. Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie was so much fun to watch. I loved it. And I don't know how many times I've seen this one either, but it's my favorite, and Star-Lord is the best. The Avengers. Again, my favorite. I love that movie. It was the best way to show all the Avengers at once. Of course, we didn't have every single Avenger there, but it's still pretty cool to see that they were all there in that one iconic scene now, where they're going in this full camera circle. It's just so badass, and every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, that's them. That's my babies. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And this definitely, number 2, is the best ever, ever, ever. That movie just had me in the feels so much, and gosh, the story kept me on the edge of my seat. It was just amazing. Steve and Bucky's relationship just shows that friendship is magic. Civil War. Okay, this by far has to be the ultimate best Marvel movie I have ever seen. Seriously, it had almost everything I wanted, and it was just amazing. And I'm kind of glad I took out a couple of scenes that I were kind of hoping were not gonna happen, because of course the comic books is one thing and I'm afraid that was going to be the movie. I'm kind of glad they switched those out because it made the movie even better. I can't wait to see Doctor Strange and Black Panther's movie, Spider-Man's new movie, and Captain Marvel's movie. Those are going to be totally awesome additions before we see Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, there you have it, guys. My entire list. Do you agree with the list? Do you have a different arrangement? Or what? Put in the comments and let's chat about it. And also, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Bye!
Wow.